Imagine a place where time just stops. I don't mean metaphorically, I mean biologically. Deep in the mist-covered mountains of China, there is a coordinate that doesn't appear on any tourist map. The locals, they won't guide you there. They refuse to even speak its name. They call it Wú Lǎo Cūn, the village without elders. In 1987, a survey team claimed the village didn't exist, but in 2014, an American ethnographer named Dr. Elias Thorne found it. He went looking for a lost culture. What he found was a terrifying violation of nature. Because in this village, nobody, and I mean nobody, looks a day over 30 years old. There are no grandfathers, no grandmothers, just a town of young adults with eyes that look ancient. Elias Thorne went in as a skeptic. He came out broken. This is the story of what he found in the fog.
Elias Thorne was a man of science. He didn't believe in ghosts. He believed in data. The hike took him 3 brutal days. Vertical cliffs, constant rain. When he finally crested the ridge, he saw it. The architecture was stunning, Qing Dynasty era. It looked like a movie set, frozen in time. Curved eaves, black tiles, beautiful. But as he walked through the main gate, the first thing that hit him was the silence. No dogs barking, no chickens clucking, no children laughing. Just the sound of wind chimes. Thousands of them. Elias approached a man chopping wood near the entrance. According to tradition, Elias asked to see the village elder, the patriarch. The woodchopper just nodded and led him to the central hall. Sitting on the high chair was the chief. Elias froze. He expected an old man, a white beard. Instead, the man in charge had the smooth face of a 20-year-old college student. "Welcome," the chief said. His voice didn't match his face. It was deep, resonant, old. He said, "We have been waiting for a witness." Elias looked around the room, and that's when the panic set in. Every single face, smooth, no wrinkles, no gray hair. It was like walking into a painting where the artist had forgotten how to paint old age.
For the first 2 days, Elias tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was genetics, a specific diet. He treated it like a documentary. He sat down with a weaver named May. She looked 19, maybe 20. "Tell me about your parents," Elias asked. May smiled, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. "They are here," she said. "Where? I haven't seen anyone over 30. "They are here," she repeated. "We are all here." Elias asked to see her family shrine. Usually, you expect to see photos of grandparents, ancestors. But when May led him to her altar, there were no photos, just wooden tablets. Elias picked one up. Li Wei, born 1920. He picked up another. Li Wei, born 1950. And another. Li Wei, born 1980. Elias stopped breathing for a second. It wasn't a family tree. It was a list of reboots. The same name cycling over and over again. He looked back at May. Her face was young, but her eyes, they were filled with a misery that takes 80 years to accumulate. She whispered to him, "We do not age, Dr. Thorne. We simply start again."
By the fourth night, the air in the village felt heavy, like the pressure before a thunderstorm. The villagers insisted Elias stay for the transition. That night, a thick fog rolled in. Red lanterns were hung outside every door, but the red was dark, like dried blood. Elias grabbed his camera. He followed a procession to the river. He saw the chief standing waist-deep in the freezing black water. A woman, who looked no older than 25, was wading out to him. She wasn't crying. She just looked done, like someone carrying 1,000 pounds of weight. Elias watched, terrified. The chief placed a hand on her forehead. She didn't struggle. She just slumped forward into the water. She went under, and she didn't come back up. Elias waited. He waited for the splash, the rescue. Nothing. The villagers just watched. Total silence. 3 minutes passed, then 5 minutes. Just as Elias was about to scream, the reeds downstream parted. A child walked out, a toddler, maybe 3 years old, soaking wet, shivering. The villagers walked over, picked up the child, and wrapped it in the exact same clothes the woman had been wearing. It wasn't murder. It was a closed loop. No release, no heaven, just repeat. The next morning, the woman was gone. The toddler was there. But Elias noticed something that made his blood run cold. The toddler had a crescent-shaped scar on its shoulder, the exact same scar the woman had. Elias needed answers. He hiked up the mountain behind the village. He found a cave, hidden by vines. He turned on his flashlight and stepped inside. The cave was filled with sheddings. Piles of rotting clothes, Qing dynasty robes, military uniforms from the 40s, Mao suits from the 70s. And in the center of the cave, a statue. It wasn't a god, it wasn't a Buddha. It was a statue of a human fetus, curled up and weeping. Elias realized the truth. It wasn't magic, it was the soil. The earth in this valley doesn't allow decay. It traps biological energy. It doesn't let you leave. When your body wears out, the valley just forces you back into a new one. There are no ghosts in this village because no one is ever allowed to die. Elias didn't say goodbye. He packed his bag in a frenzy. He felt a heaviness in his chest, a lethargy. He had been eating their food, drinking their water. Was it already inside him? He ran to the village gate. The young chief was waiting. He didn't look angry. He looked sad. "You're leaving early," the chief said softly. I have to go," Elias stammered. "The world out there is painful, Dr. Thorne," the chief said softly. "People get old, they get sick, they forget. Here, we remember everything, forever. Is that not better?" "It's hell," Elias whispered. And he ran. He ran until his lungs burned. He didn't stop until he reached the paved road miles away. Elias made it back to the States, but he never published his paper. Every digital file he took, corrupted, just static and gray noise. But the real horror wasn't the lost data. It's been 10 years since Elias visited the village. He is currently living in a secure medical facility in Oregon, not because he's crazy, but because he is rapidly deteriorating. His doctors are baffled.
He looks 50, but he is aging a year for every month that passes. His cells are breaking down. It's as if the village is trying to reclaim the time he stole. Or maybe the village is pulling the life out of him, dragging him back to the cycle.
So, what is the village without elders? Is it a biological anomaly, a curse, or a purgatory hidden in the mountains? Satellite images of that region just show dense forest, but hikers still report seeing smoke rising from that specific valley. And sometimes they find clothes left by the riverbank. Old-fashioned clothes, soaking wet. If you ever find yourself hiking near the border of Yunnan and you see a village that isn't on the map, turn around, because in that village you won't die, but you will never, ever leave. Here is my question for you. If you were offered eternal youth, but the cost was that you could never leave your hometown and never forget a single painful memory, would you take it? Let me know in the comments below.